right, hey, we're just going to do a quick little shop update on what we got going on around here. It's been super busy first part of the year, multiple events, traveling, and a lot of client stuff we're trying to get done and out of here. I know trying to keep everybody posted on some of the builds that we get finished and when they leave, because Dylan will post some video footage of the clients getting their cars or when they ship out. This is a 73 Trans Am, original California car, all original panel, rust-free car that we've had pretty much since we started the shop. It came in originally from a client out of California. We started the restoration. Ultimately, we ended up acquiring the car from him when some things changed in his family life. And so now we pulled it out of storage, kind of took it through the steps. We redid the whole underside, painted red oxide, repainted the body in white. It's now mini tubbed. It's going to have a 4-link in it. This car is going to be getting a 6-speed manual transmission with a Blueprint 427-inch motor, 6.25 horsepower. So you'll be watching out for this one. It'll be a pretty neat car. It'll be available for sale also, along with several other Pro Touring builds that we're doing. Right behind it, we've got a client's 71 455 HO car that we're finishing up for a client out of Florida and going through the assembly phase on it now. Next to it is a Pro Touring 73. This is one of our internal shop cars. It's got a built LSA motor in it. We just actually hung the front clip on it this week, getting ready to kind of finish all the plumbing and the wiring and get the radiator and stuff like that in it, and hopefully get it running here within the next week or two. It's got a 6-speed manual transmission, mini tubbed, 4-link, all new suspension, 12-inch wide wheels on the rear. Brewster Green 73, one of my favorite. It'll have some pretty unique features in it and some new parts that we have coming available. We are now producing leather seats in the exact same pattern as what they were from the stock. So if you need any of those, reach out to us. Right here next to it, this is for one of our, I think it's a 64 Impala build. This is a Roadster Shop chassis. Obviously it's a tubbed car. It's got the big wheels and tires. This car is going to be over 1,000 horsepower. Our client was down south in Texas, now lives in Kansas, and it's a full-on build that we have going, so we've had to completely rebuild all the floors and the tubbing, the trunk floor. We're actually getting a custom tank made for it right now, but he wants to be able to take it to work and take it to the track. This will be a fun one to watch throughout our website and our video posts on the shop builds. Keep an eye on this one, and we have another Impala build that we're doing as well with another Roadster Shop chassis, so you'll be getting your Impala fill with stuff here from the shop. Behind it here we have 78 Fisher T-Top special edition Trans Am that's basically just undergone a restoration. It's got all fresh paint and interior, just kind of finishing up, a lot of loose ends on it. This one actually will be available for sale here this next week. And right next to it is we have a limited edition 76 455 4-speed car that we're doing for a client of ours, Mike, and it's we just got the glass put in it this last week, and the guys are kind of prepping out the interior. They got the weather stripping in, or they got the T-tops installed, kind of starting down the path of getting it ready to hang the front clip, and we'll get all the interior and stuff done, and then get ready to slide the drivetrain in it once we get it back from getting refinished. Behind me right here, we got a 69 Camaro. It's got the RS package on it. This car was something that we acquired from a client out of Washington. His family contacted us after he passed away. We brought in the car to finish the restoration on it, and it's got a built LS1 motor in it, so it's fuel injected, air conditioning system. It's got all new wiring, just some modern accents. So it's a mild build with some custom accents, and it's obviously all new interior, super nice, show quality paint. This one will be available here soon as well. It starts and runs and drives. We just got to finish getting the interior assembled on it and some of the other loose ends. This is a customer's 77 short bed, 2-wheel drive pickup with a full custom chassis underneath it, big block motor that he had built for it. He's a local customer. We've done a few vehicles for him over the years. This was a cab that he had since, I believe he said, since he was in high school. Rust-free cab. I think it was an original state truck that didn't have a lot of miles on it. So we're in the process of making it work with all new sheet metal, a whole new chassis, whole new drive line. So we're looking forward to getting back on this build to get it done. On the lifts here, right next to us, we have 71 455 HO 4-speed car that's got the white deluxe interior in it. Just got done. It's a frame off restored car. We just did a complete refresh on the paint, had the motor gone through, and everything's basically new on this car. And so we're just kind of going through the final steps. We got it started, or Derek's got it running and driving. We're just kind of fixing up a bunch of loose ends on it, and then we'll keep everybody kind of posted on what the status is on this car. Tentatively for an existing customer right now, but it may be available in the near future depending on what he decides to do. The 77 Special Edition that's up on the lift here, this one's got a Butler built drivetrain in it, somewhere in that 500 horsepower range. Everything is new. It's a top to bottom car. It's for a client of ours out of Minnesota. Beautiful car, red oxide underneath. We put a lot of the RideTech suspension components on it. Pretty much a stock deluxe interior. It's got some of our custom decals on it as well too, but you'll see a lot more of this car as it gets finished up here in the next couple of weeks. We're just waiting on a couple of drivetrain components so that it can go down for an exhaust alignment tune, and then we'll do some drivability testing. So here's the Impala that we're working on that's got the full tubbed roadster shop chassis. We've been fitting everything. It's been going up and down on that chassis, and now we're at the point to where Jake's finishing up the trunk pan for the custom drop-in fuel-injected tank for this car that's going to fit behind inside those rails, and with that custom chassis. It's got full custom floors in this car, custom firewall, custom tubs, everything's been done. We actually, I think he made it so that this is going to be where the gas is going to get put into the car, so we eliminated the gas door on the side of the car and put it in behind that tail light. There'll be some neat features on this car. It's going to be a really pretty blue when it's done. We'll keep you guys posted on the build on that because we'll do a lot of footage on that once it's wrapped up. Right behind us here, Jason's finishing up, getting a bunch of metal work done. This is a 73 Super Duty Trans Am 4-speed car. It's a factory white with black interior. That is an original Michigan car. It's one that we've had around here in the collection for a while. I figured it was time to take it through the steps, so we had it completely media blasted and going through and just repairing any of the sheet metal and stuff that needs to be done, and using what NOS parts that we can on the car as well, so that everything fits up really nicely. But this one we'll keep you guys posted on. Next to us here we got a 70 SS Chevelle. This is a good client of the shop. This is a car that we've had around here for a while and done work to it off and on as we were able to do so, or when parts came available, but just finished up getting the full quarters hung on it, and now we're doing the fitment for the doors and the fenders, putting some patches in the original fenders. We did do a tunnel modification to be able to put in an overdrive transmission in it. It's got a built big block Chevy motor in it as well. So we'll get all the sheet metal work done on this car and get it into a kind of a final primer state, and then figure out where the client's at on wanting to continue on with the build. In the booth today, we actually have 1970 Trans Am. That's the Lucerne Blue with the bright blue deluxe interior, and we're doing a Pro Touring build on it. So it's gonna get 427-inch blueprint engine, 6.25 horse. It's already been mini tubbed. It'll have a 4-link and all new suspension, but it'll have more of a kind of a stock look to it, but yet modern drivetrain and suspension and some subtle updates on the interior. But right now Justin's getting the final primer put on the car. They'll block that out, and then it'll go into final paint. So this is a client's 78 Trans Am that we got in, I want to say probably within the last 2 months. He bought it from another dealer somewhere down south, shipped us the car, wanted us to basically kind of check everything out on the car, make a list of things that needed to be addressed. It was sitting super low in the front, so we had to readjust the front end suspension. We redid the decals on it, gave it a full buff, did some minor touch up to the spoilers and some of the paintwork and stuff on the car. We did complete refresh on the interior where it was needed, mostly the plastic trim work. The biggest thing was getting the AC working on it, fixing some leaks in the cooling system, and getting all that. I think we ended up swapping out the radiator and putting in a high flow water pump and a high performance thermostat. But basically getting the car ready for him for the summer, and it's literally 99% done. It's going to get an alignment check on it as soon as the roads dry up, and then probably ship out this next week. Right next to it here we have a 78 Chevy Corvette. It's an Indianapolis 500 pace car that's got 40 miles on it. Still got the window sticker in the side. We're just doing some light mechanical stuff on it, some light detail work. This car will go into the collection for a little while and be available for sale here in the near future after we get a few things dialed in on it. Right next to us here, it's raining out today, so it's kind of congested in here at the moment. We got a client's 65 GTO. It's a tri-power car. He was having some drivability issues on it, plus the front carburetor was leaking a little bit of fuel, so we're basically troubleshooting some of those issues for him, trying to see if we can get it to where it's a little bit more manageable for him to drive and enjoy. Next to it here, this is a 72 Survivor Trans Am 455 4-speed car. We are getting prepped and ready for a client of ours out of Florida that was in an accident with his 72 white Trans Am, and so we had this one available. This one came out of Arizona. It'll be going back to Florida. We're putting a new windshield in it. We redid the interior and stuff on it for him, and just doing a couple other little subtle changes. I think we're going to put a factory console in it and an 8-track player and a couple other things before it ships out. We got a 69 RS Camaro here that we had got in, that we're just fixing a bunch of loose ends on it, wiring and some of the mechanical stuff. Really nice, older, complete restoration, just getting it prepped and ready for our next client. Over here we have a 77 Special Edition Trans Am that came in from a client of ours out of Florida. It's a really good, clean car. It had an older restoration. We're just getting it, drivability stuff kind of figured out on it. We'll do some cleaning and just kind of do a complete assessment on this special edition car. It's identical to the movie car. I do have a set of refinished factory 15-inch wheels that are going back on it. It just has these 17s on it for now. This car will be coming available here on our website here very soon. We also have a couple other Trans Ams here. This is a low mileage 78 Trans Am. It has, I believe, 33,000 original miles on it. It's all original interior, original carpet. We did put a new headliner in it. It's had some minor paint work over the years. We put a new set of tires on it. We're going through all the mechanicals, doing a full detail on the interior, just fixing up whatever we need to on the car. We're doing some light touch-ups on some paint work. But this car is going to be available here very soon. Super nice, solid car that, Martinique Blue 78, tough to find car, will be available here real soon. I believe a good friend of mine is going to end up with it. This was a car that came in from a client of ours out of Michigan, and we're just kind of taking it through some of the minor steps that we do when we're checking a car over, making sure, there's no leaks, the exhaust is good, the car's running and driving good, all the, the AC's working, all the fluids are changed, all the typical stuff that we do. I think it needed just a few minor things here and there. 73 Trans Am, we're refinishing the honeycomb wheels for the owner, and then we'll be able to get down to doing some final drivability stuff. We did a full paint on this car, full detail on the interior, rebuilt the drivetrain and stuff on it. His honeycomb wheels just were not up to snuff, trying to make them super nice for him and get it ready for him to ship out to California. The last car I want to touch in here right now is the 80 Trans Am. Is just getting I think a new headliner put in it here today. We're going to finish up just some light detail stuff on it, and then this one will be available for somebody as well. It's pretty much a one-owner car. It came out of Colorado, rust-free, 301 turbo car, AC, T-tops, pretty well loaded with options, the deluxe blue cloth interior. We do have a 70 Ram Air 3, I'm sorry, it's a 70 400 4-speed blue on blue formula with I think 28,000 original miles on it. The original motor, we rebuilt it. It's going back in the car. We'll have that one cleaned up here within the next few weeks and have it available for sale as well. So the 69 Pace Car convertible, it's a big block convertible. Dennis Collins and Richard Rollins located this car from a client of theirs. So we acquired it from them, brought it in here. We're just kind of getting some things freshened up on it, making sure it runs and drives good, detailing a few things. It had an older complete restoration done to it. It's pretty much all new interior, an older repaint, but it's still very, very nice. Motor had been rebuilt, but we're just checking everything out. The car sat for quite a few years. I believe the gentleman that owned it in the family passed away, and Richard and Dennis had bought, I think, 12 cars from this guy's collection, and this was one of them. So we're just getting it dialed in, but the factory convertible Pace car has always been one of my favorite 69s. They obviously have the RS package on it with the hideaway lights and the bright orange interior on white. This is a great color contrasting combo that I've always really liked. Anyway, we will have that one available here in the near future as well too, after we get done running it through the steps. And then I'm going to touch on a few more builds when we don't have everything kind of congested here in the shop with some other cars that we're doing for some clients. A couple other 73s that we're restoring for clients. We have a white one out of California. We have a black one from out east that we're going to make Brewster green, and we're getting all the drivetrain stuff done on them right now. A Mustang, a local Mustang that came in that we're going to be doing all the drivetrain and interior on it to get it dialed in for them. And then in the near future, when we get time, we'll get to doing some body and paint and stuff on it. But anyway, some fun stuff we got going on. Super busy this time of year in the shop. Today we have thunderstorms rolling through, so everything's kind of shoved inside, like I said. If you get a chance, restoreamusclecar.com. We have a whole new website now. We just upgraded to a whole new system. It's got a whole new checkout process, shipping, everything. We actually added thousands of new products to our website and adding more each day. So check us out online, restoreamusclecar.com. TheBanditRun.com is live now for registration. We're going up through Michigan this year, and so you want to register as soon as you can because we're trying to finalize all of our accounts, and we'll probably be shutting off registration before too long. All of our shirts are now live online with a couple new ones coming here this next week, but make sure you go restoreamusclecar.com, like, share, tag. Make sure you follow us on YouTube as well, and watch out for the new videos like this that come out. And thanks for watching the video.